Does everybody who's watching me know me, or do they not know me?
Everybody will know you. Okay. Introduce yourself. Who's this? I'm Mallory. This is this random child that just walked in.
Who's coming on?
We still have 2 minutes, but you want to start moving?
What time do you think?
About justice. Well, it's not about what was. Okay, let's start. You ready? Okay, how do you do this? Balance. This will be your balance beam. See this little thing? The little arrows? Yeah, you want to do that? Okay, imagine you're on your balance beam. You can't fall off because the shark's in the water. But try to get your right toe as far forward on your balance beam as you can, and then as far back on your balance beam as you can. But just barely tap it. Don't put any weight into it. Almost act like you just have like a little bit of paint on your toe. Yeah, and then back. Yeah, you do that 8 more times. Toe forward, toe back. Nice job. Toe forward. You're bad at the balance? Hey! Keep going, you're good. You got 5 more? Toe forward, toe back. What is underneath your balance beam? Sharks? Something. Otherwise, you've no incentive not to fall off. All right, 10 of those on one side, 10 on the other side. Switch sides. Have you done your right foot yet? Go right foot now, switch. Yes. Now go left foot forward, left foot back. Yeah. 10-ish of those. Oh yeah, I should pin our thing to the top. I always forget to do that. Keep going, Pax. Okay. You don't like singing yourself? You can do jazz hands. You can act funny. Okay, what's your number those 10? It's the Mom and Pax and Mal day. Wait, no. I am Mom. Mom and Pax workout day. Okay, go feet together, chin to the chest, roll down, walk the hands out. So hip drivers, these feel good, Pax. Go drop the hips, arch the back, chin up to the ceiling, and then push the hips back, flatten the feet, see if you can get the heels all the way to the ground. Ooh, you gotta take your socks off, those are slippery. Drop the hips, chin up, shift the weight back to the heels, high hips. It should feel good. Put chin up like, what does this, Shamu? Or Ariel? And then shift the weight back to the heels, high hips. I can see crumbs from at least the last 2 snaps we had on this rug. I see popcorn and crumbs. Other crumbs. All right, once you're done with those, all right, lay down on the stomach, arms straight out. Hopefully we're still in the screen here. All right, so you're gonna take the hands back to the chest, walk the hands back, flip the toes under, and just come up to this like low squat. And you're just doing that 5 times. Walk the hands out, come down into like the bottom of a push-up, extend the arms. Yeah, nice job. So with each of those, you're just coming into this like low heel, or heels are down, hips are low, and then I'm just going forward, laying the arms down, arms out. So this should seem really kind of funky and basic. We're gonna keep building on each of these. Hello. All right, go through 10 of those. These are really good for knee mobility, knee strength. Are you picking up any crumbs yet? We're listening to Citizen Cope in preparation for our concert on Friday night at the Moody Theater. Right, Pat? Why do we like Citizen Cope? Okay, that's a good answer. He's also just cool. What's his weirdest song?
salmon by delivery or sandwiches by delivery, and we still can't be good at it.
All right, 10-ish of those. We're being goofy today. We don't have Jason here. We don't have Dad here to keep us in line. All right, when you're done with those 10, just stand up slowly. We'll go through some of those again. So balancing on your balance beam, but now your balance beam goes out to the side. We're turning just because we're using the pattern on the rug. So big reach out to the side, and then big reach across. So from the front so you can see that better. Reach to the side, reach across. Reach to the side, reach across. Yeah, perfect. Stop, guys. Stop. All right, 10 of those each way. So we're trying to swivel the hip on that frontal plane. Do you do 10 each way? Now same thing on the other side. Is your other leg just as good as your first leg? Which leg do you think is stronger? Do you think it's stronger?
I think I made it dexterous was.
And the dexterous? Is that the word you use for your legs? That's what you use when you talk about hands.
Yeah. I don't know if it's
Dexterity is like how you can move your hands. I don't know how you. Head is E. Head X free. We're making up words. If anybody knows, chime in.
because I've never known the word for it.
Yeah. All right, when you're done with those guys, 10 each way.
I always wanted to be
Yeah, you can work on it. Feet together, chin to the chest, roll down, walk out to your plank. Rather than driving the hips down and up, you're pushing the hips side to side. So this is like a pretty common hip progression drill that we do. Yeah, just imagine somebody's like pushing your hips over to one side and then they're bouncing back to the other side. But really the distance from the right hip to the ground is the same as the distance from the left hip to the ground. There's no rotation. Nice job, buddy. 10 each way. Nice job. Okay, then we're gonna progress into that get up. So each time you're gonna do this slow push up until the chest comes all the way down to the ground. Yeah, so ideally you can pick up the hands, you don't have to take them out in front of you anymore, and you're gonna go, hey, and you're gonna do a push up and walk the hands, so my knees are hovering off the ground, walk the hands back to the feet, and then just stand all the way up. Come down into a super, super low squat, as low as you can go. And then you just tip forward until you're up onto your toes. Walk the hands out, slow push up down until the chest comes all the way to the ground. You can pick up your hands, hey. And then push up, bend the knees, walk the hands back until the heels get low and you're in this low crouch squat. And then just straighten up out of it. Slow push up, chest comes all the way down to the ground. Did you do your hands? Really good. Heels are low, come all the way up out of that squat. Tip forward, hands catch you. So this is similar to what we did earlier. We just took away that arm reach overhead, added in a push-up, and added in that leg extension so that you stand back up. So it's actually very different. Popcorn. 10 of these guys. This is a great drill for ankle mobility, big stretch for the Achilles. job, guys. How many more do we have? Are you kidding? Okay, let's do 2 more. I feel like that's like 8. 2 more of these suckers. Arms up. Going once? See? All right. Stand up. So 10-ish, maybe still one more, maybe you've already been done. Back to your balance beam. Now you're trying to get your right toes far forward, but you're taking the hip with it. Imagine I have laser beams shooting out of my hips and then we just shoot you. And then I want to shoot the front door. Don't put as much weight into it. Imagine it's like a row of eggs that you're trying to tap your toe into. If you put too much weight onto those eggs,
You know, you can actually walk home and yes.
so
Like
eggs are
how a
about
balloon doesn't pop on a slate of nails.
because it's like evenly distributed.
Yeah.
So what other analogy should I use? Well, until you come up with another one. Wow! Almost fell off my balance beam.
I felt off my balance beam once.
If nothing got you?
There was bottom of the
Piranhas with horns.
I don't know how.
The ones without horns were gentle.
I don't know how horns would do them any good though. And not
Same
that-
thing on the other side if you haven't already switched. Fresh leg, have you switched yet? Right foot down, now your left leg is your reacher. Hip goes with it. So if your laser beam shooting out of your hips, would your laser beam shoot me? Yes, it would. Uh-oh, dead. 10 each way. We're trying to get as much rotation on that standing hip as we can. Nice job. All right, when you're done with those 10-ish, back to your plank, chin to the chest, roll down slow, walk the hands out. So now, feet are wide, big rotation in the hips, each way. So there's a lot of bend in the elbows now, it's not this locked straight arm plank. There's a bend in both knees. Nice job, guys. Does it feel easy for you? We're gonna do some more rotations here in a little bit. So this is kind of like prepping us for that twist that you're gonna have in the back. All right, once you're done with those 10, you're back to these. This time you're not gonna let the chest go all the way to the ground. You're just gonna do one push up. Walk the hands back to the feet. Come all the way up. Nice job. Same thing, walk the hands out. You can go through these pretty quickly now. So one push up, walk the hands back, heels are rooted down, stand all the way up. Squat as low as you can, tip forward onto the toes. Nice job. So these will go by a little quicker. You should start to feel that in the quads a little bit. Only 4 more, right? These are going quick. So you should feel like you could move through this a lot quicker than that first one, a lot quicker than the second one. Whew, they're hard. All right, when you're done with those 10, we're gonna switch it up a little and go leg lifts. So, balancing on the left leg, we're gonna do your wheel. Imagine you're trying to just like over-exaggerate that wheel that you have when you're running. So imagine it's like just that leg got caught on a bicycle The rest of your body's staying still. Try to make it evenly paced, so no part of it's faster or slower than the next.
Or try to hide on the side.
Yes,
People would do
that's what it's like. That's what we're training for. All right, after you're done with those 10, before you switch sides, pause with that knee high and just do 10 quick little knee lifts. So trying to focus on that hip flexor. You should feel like you can like really isolate where you're feeling that. And then you'll do those same 2 things on the other side. So I'll try and see you can see. Same big wheel. So make sure that you're not leaning in one direction. So if that heel were leaving a trail of light behind it, it would create this just like perfect circle. This is where it would help to have a mirror, because you may think your circle is smooth, but I am looking and my circle is not so smooth. All right, 10 of those. And again, before you switch sides, keep that knee high, and we're just isolating that effort to the very front of that hip. You ready to do this? What did you do? Hurt your shoulder? All right, 10 of those, and then lay down. This is where it gets a little funky. You're gonna still go with your packs? Taking a break? All right, so from this laying on your back position, arms are all the way over the head. Come up into a like, I don't know, 4 points on the ground, hips up position. So from the side, there's nothing underneath the hips. Set the hips back down, everything goes back out. So go through 10 of these. You're just getting to a point where you're like a spider. You can just lift the hips up. Again, we're gonna add on to this. This is just kind of a good progression, so we don't start out with anything too funky. Wanna come be a spider with me?
I was just gonna give it a little.
Come be a spider. Yep, and then put your butt down, and then everything goes flat. Yeah. You want a cushion? All right, 10 of those. Here. When you're done with those 10, stay sitting up, pull one knee in. We haven't done these in a really long time, so I try to write down notes of when we do things. And this one we haven't done in like at least 8 weeks, so here we are doing it. So pull one knee in. And the goal is to sit up as straight as you can, driving the sternum forward, flex the foot so the heel is up off the ground, and you're just doing these straight leg lifts. We're doing a big focus on hip flexor, so it should just feel like this is, I do these all the time, and I'm telling you, they never get easier. So why do I do them? You'll have a tendency to want to like help out the back and round out the back. Keep thinking about driving the sternum forward, like the strings attached to the top of the head. And then switch sides. You feel that, like right here? Yeah. 15 little lifts. It's a lot. I should have said 10. Sometimes I do these and I think, why did I say 15? Ugh. Who was like, it was 15? Goodness. All right, now for some people, this is a great stretch. Some people, they hate it and it just doesn't work. So I hope you're part of the former, not the latter. So walk forward and just stretch out the hips. You can just do this like little wiggle. And it feels good. It's actually a really great stretch. If you don't feel like you have that movement, you feel it? It feels good to me. I don't know if it feels good to everybody. From there, flip over into this bent knee pose. And you're gonna alternate. Lift the right arm, left foot up. Lift the left hand, right foot up. So opposite arm, opposite leg, 10 of each. Imagine if you had invisible arms and legs. Go right and left. So this one and that one at the same time. Yes. Yep, because if you have that cross body structure or a base, you're really able to keep your core balance. 10 on each side. You're not really holding it more than just a half second. Hit that furthest range of motion, then switch. Ugh. All right, 10 on each side, that's a lot, 20. When you're done there, walk the hands back to the feet and stand up slowly. That was good. Okay, we'll do 2 more rounds of that and then you're done. We'll see if we can make it 30 minutes with this one. You got it? Maybe. All right, we're going back to the wheel, right? Last time your wheel was narrow. Imagine your wheel has just been like tilted in. So I'm gonna extend one leg just out to the side, and now my wheel is going from that angle. Nothing else changes about my rectangle though. Hips are still at the same level, shoulders are still at the same level. 10 of those. So that knee is kind of coming across center. That's why we do the more normal one first, because this one's kind of strange. And just like we did on the other side, pause with that knee high and those quick knee drivers. And again, that knee is going across center. I don't know if it's probably easier to see from the front. So now I'm really trying to get the inside of the leg, your hip adductor to fire. And do those same 2 things on the other side. I told you it was a lot of this. I feel my hips. Yeah. All right, take one leg out to that diagonal. Same thing. You're still doing that same big wheel. So it's a leg extension, knee, or hamstring curl, knee tuck. Leg extension, hamstring curl, knee tuck. I'm not sure I'm drawing a smooth circle. It's more like an octagon. But we're trying, and that's what counts.
Actually, this is kind of work with making combination like Japanese trail like ones you attach them to the same way.
That would be perfect. And you know. Are you drawing? I feel like I'm more like a diamond right now, or a square. A little jerky. All right, same idea. That knee is tucked, and you're doing those 10 quick knee drivers. Again, just fatiguing that front of that leg. Oh, why? I almost said 10 this time. At least I learned. Okay, when you're done there, you're laying down, legs out, arms overhead. Again, you're coming up into that like spider pose. And now you're going opposite arm, opposite foot. And then roll back down. And then you're doing the other side. Opposite arm, opposite foot. And then roll back down. Yeah. It's like you're shaking hands with your foot.
Yes.
Hello, nice to meet
I know
you. I know you. We've been connected to the same body for years. The hand's like, foot, you should run more. The foot's like, hand, you should massage me more. We got beef with each other. This is like breakdancing 101. Ah! Oh, no, opposite. Opposite.
Ah! Oh, shit, this is crazy.
Oh, you can do that.
This.
Okay. All right, after you've done 10 of those, you're back to the seated position, one leg straight out. Still 15. Raise that leg up and just take it out wide and back in. Just big sweeping movement. Check that the knee is not bending. The toes aren't rotating out. They're staying pointed up. 15 of these guys. Imagine somebody's coming around behind you and just pushing into your spine and making you sit up straighter, and it gets harder very quick. In case you needed to make it harder. Same thing, other side. The first 2 feel good. You're like, what was the problem? Oh, look. We're a well-oiled machine. Crash. Crash. All right, 15. And then again, if that stretch feels good, you can just go into it and just kind of shake out the hips. If it didn't work for you, I'm sorry, you're missing out. I don't know what to tell you. I've tried to work with people on this, and you're either in the group that feels it or the group that doesn't. It's like, what is it that Daddy doesn't like? Cilantro. You either like it or you don't. right, flip over onto the hands and knees. This time, see if you can straighten out the leg and straighten out the arm. Last time we just did this little bent arm lift. Now see if you can do an extension. 10 on each side. You did it? Last time we're doing this. We have third round of some other things, but none of this. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Yeah, perfect. And then stand up slowly. All right. So last time for this wheel analogy, so we had this like straight wheel first, and then we had this tilted wheel where it like came across the center, and now it's the opposite of that. So just turn one foot out, okay? Maybe it helps if I get on the hardwood. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot out. Imagine you're just trying to create a wheel, but now it's going out to that diagonal. Makes sense? So the knee is going away from center. 10 of these, you're almost done. Who is? Oh, yeah. Okay, we lost him. You only have like 1 more minute. Today's quick. We also started early. Don't ask why. The kid was excited. Knee is going to be out, and now you're doing those quick lifts. That makes sense. Make sure that you're not turning towards that leg, but instead you're staying squared off. And then do those same 2 things on the other side. You're turning out the foot that you're going to be moving, and you're just working on this big externally rotated wheel. I made an athlete do this today, and he said, why do you make us do these things? And the truth is, this movement is, it's like nerve glide patterns. It's like trying to get your body just used to this smooth, full wheel, regardless of if it's in line or across or out. The leg is still doing exactly the same thing. And then these 10 quick little lifts. This one is just to fatigue the hip flexor. A lot of us could stand to have a higher knee drive when we run. And these pullers are what's responsible for making that happen. That's why we're working on that today. Mostly just because I was on the track the other day and saw people not lifting their knees, so you all have to now do what they need help with. All right, and laying down. Last time, you're just gonna come up to a straight leg lift and back down. Straight leg lift. We're doing 3 rounds of 10 sit-ups, and then you're out of here. First one is with straight legs. And you can have a big swing with the arms, basically going from big movement to little movement. And then the second variation is going to be arms stay pointing up to the ceiling. And then you're just tucking a knee in. 10 total. We only have 20 more steps and we can go. Got it? 1 knee in, extend. 1 knee in. Oh wait, you need that for your thumb. Move it. And then the last variation is going to be no movement in the arms, no movement in the legs. You're just sitting up until the fingertips come to the knees, and then roll back down. 10. You did? How many did you do? Oh, a timer? Ooh, that's going to be hard. We should do a physical fitness test. I bet our kids could all be this. Tyson, who could win in a 1 mile run? You or me? Depends.
I mean, you never really passed it. On that long distance one.
That's true. But short distance? I think so too. All right, from here, just fold the legs over. Come up onto the knees. So I just started here, feet flat, folded the legs over, and I'm coming up onto those knees and making a big arch with the upper half of the body.
You do these more.
You do? It's good for your hips. Do 2 of those on each side. Last hip stretch. I'm covered with crumbs and dog hair.
See you in the comment section.
I am. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for joining us, Paxton. Nice work, guys. That was fun. Always good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Now he's shy.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Always good.
Thanks, guys.